Hello, everyone, and welcome to our virtual summit. On behalf of eDynamic Learning, I'm so happy to have you here with us today. As the largest provider of online CT and elective courseware in North America, we felt it was only befitting to create our newest course that we're sharing with you today. So, presenting with me today is Lisa Ron, Director of Strategy and Design for our curriculum, and I'm Vice President of Marketing. And as I mentioned, we're really excited about our newest course, Workplace Readiness and Internship Preparation. When Lisa and I were growing up, we felt that, it was really essential that we went to college to really have a great career. But what's great today is that's not always the case for students. They don't have to go on to college to necessarily find a great job. They can actually earn certifications and have preparatory internships and opportunities to be able to go right into the workforce. So we're excited by all the CT courseware and online curriculum that we provide to schools to help prepare those students. So let's just share just a little bit about the type of courses that we offer. We offer CT courses in all of these career clusters, and so there's a variety of content and curriculum that you can provide to your students. Our newest course, as I mentioned, is coming, which is our Workplace and Internship Readiness course. And I'm going to explain just a little bit about why we really felt that this course was essential to create. And then Lisa's going to take over later in our presentation and really give you a feel for what's in the content so that you understand what kids are going to learn. So we all know that students today, a lot of these students really struggle with lots of different things. I myself understand this quite well. I have a middle school student at home and a high school daughter. So I'm just gonna share some of these things, and you'll see that some of these are very applicable to this generation. They often communicate with their friends more than their phone than in person. We know that even when they're in groups, they're texting away. They never knew a world without the internet. So really, that is their whole world. And so we know they're always connected. They often see that app developers or YouTubers are making millions of dollars and they think that they could be the next YouTuber. We also know that they're risk takers and they often believe they can do anything. And while that's really good, we want to instill that with them. We also know that they need to understand a little bit of reality, right? They're willing to share anything and everything over apps like Snapchat and Instagram, and that can be a little bit scary for, especially as parents. And they spend hours taking the perfect selfie. They're very critical of themselves and unfortunately of each other, which leads to cyberbullying and frequent causing of emotional problems. So what we've noticed when we talk with employers is they feel that these students have a skill gap and a growing need for soft skills, which is why we know it's really critical that we help these kids, especially with that communication piece, where we see kids sitting around, but they're communicating via phone. So we need to get them communicating in different ways, right? We also know that they're always on their phone, and when they want to do something different, it's like you have to drag it out of their hands to get them to do something different, right? They also think that they can start right at the top, that they don't have to work toward that often. So it's important that they get that real world situation and skills so they can understand that they need to put some hard work into it before they can climb the ladder. They often have an unrealistic view of the world. They think that, things might be much easier than they are. So we want them to have those abilities and those opportunities to see what the real world looks like. And they often share too much technology and information over the internet. And so it's important that they learn that what they share is meaningful. So we want to make sure they're not putting out inappropriate information. It's also important that they really understand, and I'm sure a lot of students have felt this, that they're unaware of how hard their words affect others. So we want to make sure they think about what they put out there. And another thing, I see this with my kids, they're often unaware of their hygiene and appearance. And sometimes they dress up and other times they don't take showers for days, right? So we know in the workplace that's not acceptable. And so this is a great opportunity for them to see that. Now, when we talk with employers, we know that the things that they're looking for the most, these are those 12 top things that they're really looking for. And if you look on this list, it's a lot of those things that we know this generation truly needs. Things like collaboration and professionalism and communication skills, even the self-awareness. Oftentimes I'll tell my daughter, you need to put a filter on that. You can't just say anything that's on your mind. So having them be aware of what they say, what they do, and how they dress. Giving students opportunities to have workplace learning experiences is so great because it gives students an ability to try out an industry. I know when I was just getting out of college, I did a temp job, and it gave me the opportunity to try out lots of different jobs and really find out which was the right fit for me. So it's really good to give them those opportunities. It also gives them a close-up view of what to expect. I heard a speaker yesterday talk about how she thought she wanted to be a pharmacist, and then she visited her uncle and realized this wasn't what she wanted at all. It was a lot more boring than she thought it was going to be. So letting them have a chance to kind of see what it looks like before they actually go down that road and really go into a career cluster. So this is a great opportunity. And of course, hands-on experience. And we know with COVID, it might not actually be hands-on, but that doesn't mean that we can't still do great opportunities where they learn from older people in those situations and experiences and coach them on those different things. We know that workplace learning gives them the ability to develop and refine skills, and most importantly, build a resume and gain confidence. I know when I went in and was a temp, I had so much more confidence when I applied for a role in that position because I had learned the skills and understood sort of that area of focus. So these are the things that are so important to our students today. Also, business partners are really looking for ways to work with schools and give those opportunities. There's a lot of benefits on both sides of it. The one thing, having a consistently prepared student is something that they're really looking for. They get sometimes fearful of the type of students that they're going to be assigned, and they love knowing that if we give them the preparatory skills and understanding of professionalism before they go into those experiences, then that's not only going to help your district to look really good, they're going to want to continue to work with you and give you more opportunities and more experience with those students, and also grow your network within your region. Whatever you're doing the word is going to get out, and all sorts of partners are going to want to work with your district. It gives those companies also an opportunity to see some of their local talent and sort of see, maybe this is my future employee. So it gives them that chance, and also it can really increase their productivity. I was listening to someone earlier today talk about the fact that because they are in manufacturing and they need to make more filtration systems, they brought some interns in to really help with some of the things that they can do. So it helps their productivity, but more importantly, they feel like they're giving back to the community. So that's a really win-win situation there. When we look at Perkins as well, Perkins V has changed from Perkins IV, and what we've learned is now with Perkins V, you have the ability to receive funds if you can show that you're promoting, creating, or expanding work-based learning opportunities. So just developing those opportunities and planning for it. The other thing is those applications will have to describe what opportunities you plan to provide. So once you promote it, you need to plan it. And finally, states must describe how they're going to collaborate with institutions and employers. So figure out who you're going to be working with and what they're going to do collectively. So work as a team to develop those programs and processes. Oops, sorry about that. So really quick, before I let Lisa take over here, I'm just going to explain really briefly the why behind why we did this. We really wanted you to have an opportunity to really make sure that your students are prepared for internship opportunities, apprenticeships, or even service hours. I know my daughter in high school, she has to do so many service hours before she's allowed to graduate. So this is great for that. It gives them those employability and soft skills. It also is a semester-long course or 60 hours in length. So that gives you an idea of, if you can't do it in a semester, when could you possibly do it? It's appropriate for grades 9 through 12. So whenever you want to fit it within the high school, it works for any of those situations. And it's available as a single course to purchase or included in our entire CTE library. So I'm going to let Lisa take it from here. Oh, and one last thing, forgot to tell you, it will be ready for back to school, and we're really excited about that. So it will be done by July, right, Lisa?
Yes, it will. Thanks so much, Tyler. So as Tyler mentioned, we're creating this course based on conversations with schools about the need to provide students with employability skills. We're cognizant that an internship or a job post-high school might be a student's first time working ever. And so our goal with creating this course is to prep them for these experiences and for life after high school. Just as an aside, actually, eDynamic did a work-based placement rather with 2 students for the last year. We were really fortunate, at least I feel, that the students that we had who joined our organization for this work-based placement opportunity behaved professionally. They were really mature beyond their years. So that's a shout out to both Rohan and Parsa if you're watching. We really scored with them. Conversely, my husband owns a small business and he employs some recent high school graduates, and he's amazed at the need to tell new employees to put their phones away, and no, flip-flops are not appropriate footwear. So that makes me super excited about this course. So just before we dive into this course, let me talk a little bit about how we're building it. We're using curriculum standards for internship as well as career preparatory courses, feedback as well from those who employ students as interns, and suggestions from schools about prepping students for the world of work. So diving into this course, the first unit provides strategies for students to discover who they are, their personality, their values, their intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. It also introduces those key employability skills that Tyler went over, things like adaptability, resilience, social awareness, digital fluency, really just to name a few. So that's what the first unit introduces students to. Next slide, thanks, Tyler. Super. The second unit moves students really from the classroom to employment by exploring the differences between an internship, a job, and a career. It also provides direction on job applications, writing a resume, writing a cover letter, interview techniques. As well, given that this is really could very well be the first time that students find themselves in an employment situation, this unit describes types of businesses that they could find themselves in, such as a service business, a startup, a not-for-profit, etc. As well, the unit will walk students through different organizational structures, like what's it like to work in a hierarchical organization or a flat structure. And they learn about their potential position in that organizational structure. This unit, the second unit, is the start of portfolio work. In this, students create an e-portfolio using free resources such as Google Drive or something similar. And that e-portfolio serves as a repository for the products that they'll create throughout the course from various course activities. And it's revisited in subsequent units. One of the first activities that students do for this portfolio is working on a career decision plan using the CASE-V or communication, analysis, synthesis, valuing, and execution decision planning model. So they start that work in this first unit and they add that material into their e-portfolio, which they revisit actually later on in the course. Click. Thanks. So the third unit is all about appropriate behavior in the workplace. This is the gold. It talks about good hygiene, appropriate attire, being punctual, being courteous to colleagues, customers, and clients. It goes over, importantly, an employer's expectations for the first 30 to 90 days on the job, as well as how to work with a manager. Students learn in this unit the symbiotic relationship between an employer and themselves so that they understand that an employer invests time and money in training them. Click. Unit 4 talks all about communication. It distinguishes between the type of communication at work from their personal communication. So it covers things like email etiquette, how to speak on the phone, which is a dying art these days, leaving concise voice messages, when to text and when not to text. Click, next slide. Super, thank you. Unit 5 talks about teams. Teamwork makes the dream work, how teams function, the essence of group dynamics. Also describes the importance of embracing working with multi-generations and people who are of different cultural backgrounds. I feel, as Tyler mentioned earlier, that this generation, Generation Z, they live in such a global place and they're used to, they don't even really think about diversity, but multi-generations might be something they don't think about. And it's important for them to understand how different people provide different perspectives. So this unit sets them up for that. Unit 5 also delves into a very timely topic, and that is the nature and expectations of remote work. How to be a good employee when working from home, if one has that opportunity. So things like virtual meetings, how technology can foster communication and collaboration, and all of that seems especially salient right now. All right. The 6th unit describes how to manage oneself on the job. Things like time management, prioritization techniques, keeping your workspace tidy. It also talks about how to manage yourself outside of work and school, how to balance, for example, an internship with schoolwork, how to manage stress. And it provides key information about financial management, since this is the first time that students might be earning a paycheck, how not to blow it all in one go. Click. Unit 7 delves into ethical behavior in the workplace and in life. Ethical tenets like honesty and fairness, integrity and trust, as well, and also in that context talks about how to safeguard their employer because they may be dealing with sensitive information, as well as how to protect themselves and their own safety on the job. And then we'll talk about our last unit. Click. It ties much of the previous 7 units together. It talks about critical thinking and problem solving and decision making, and equips students with the tools to think about this in the context of the workplace. It preps students as a result of this, not only for the internship and for their first job, but really for life outside or after high school, by unpacking the development of a growth mindset and becoming a leader. And it wraps with creating materials to add to the e-portfolio. In this unit, students revisit that initial plan that they did in Unit 2 or started in Unit 2, and they add to that, they refine it by adding goals and strategies to it to accomplish what they want to accomplish in an internship, what they envision accomplishing in a job. Also, they can add assets like practicing interview techniques via video. They can add that to their portfolio. And they'll take early work that they did in Unit 2 about learning about resumes, creating resumes and cover letters, revise that and turn it into a LinkedIn profile. So that's a very quick overview or snapshot of the course, this course, which is coming towards the end of July. We'll talk a little bit about this course, like all eDynamic learning courses, is designed responsively. You may not know that. It resizes, all of our courses will resize themselves to fit the device that the student is using, including smartphones and Chromebooks. And in addition to that, it is works with or is compatible with 6 different learning management systems, which saves really everybody time by eliminating the need to learn a proprietary platform. And if you don't have a platform, that's okay, because eDynamic Learning can provide this to you in an off-the-shelf platform called Agilix Buzz. And this course, like all eDynamic learning courses, meets WCAG 2.0 AA accessibility guidelines. This is something that we're very passionate about at eDynamic, is ensuring that all learners, irrespective of visual, hearing, and cognitive ability, can access our courses. And we go beyond complying to WCAG by working with a blind consultant who runs our courses through a screen reader to determine where instructions in narrative can be improved to make the learning experience better for students who use a screen reader. Click, or next slide. Perfect, thank you. This course, as we talked about, provides comprehensive prep for any field for students. So it's not specific to one particular CTE cluster, really for any field that a student chooses to pursue. And the lessons can be done at students at their own pace. And they incorporate great features like embedded videos, which demo workplace behavior. You know, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then a video must be worth 1,000,000, right? It also features self-reflection journal activities to get learners to consider how what they're learning applies to them now in school, will apply in an internship, and their job situation. And those reflections get captured in that e-portfolio that I described previously. There are also a combination of teacher-graded as well as machine-graded assessments. And the cool thing is that it can be customized. A teacher can customize this course by adding and linking out to content that reflects regionalities, local employers, and local industries to tie this course to the community. Click. So we think of this course as a win-win-win. It's crucial that we do provide students, as Tyler mentioned, with opportunities to find career options and the skills to succeed for now and in the future. So it's a win for students as it educates them on what to expect for an internship and their first job. It gives them the skills that they need to perform effectively, and it jumpstarts their thinking about the future. It's also a win for local employers who are offering internship opportunities, or like my husband, employing recent high school graduates. They can invest time in training on the work that they need done and not on covering appropriate behavior in the workplace. And it's also a win for the school's reputation as an institution that produces well-prepared students for employment opportunities.
Well, sorry, I was distracted a little bit. There were so many questions coming in. I was trying to respond to some, but here's one. Do you feel, Lisa, that this course would be the best for entrepreneurship and business courses, or would you suggest that our entrepreneurship or in business courses?
So it's just playing back that question, is it the best for entrepreneurship, or would our courses be better for that? I would actually say it's both. So we are developing a career track for students who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs. Tyler mentioned the next Google star, and they're all risk takers, and entrepreneurship is a great risk. So we're developing a career track for that. I would also recommend this, though, for as add on to entrepreneurship, to that career track or that program of study, because it really gives students the perspective of how to behave in the workplace. As a manager, somebody who might be running their own business, and as potentially somebody who might find themselves in a startup while they're trying to amass money to start their own business.
We have another good question. Does it work well with Google and Skyward?
Oh, interesting question. The answer is yes. Yes, actually, it's compatible in all kinds of browsers. Firefox, Google Chrome, etc.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And all of our courses will have the integration with Google. So yeah, absolutely. Is the e-portfolio considered part of the assessment piece of this course?
Oh, great question. Yes, it is, can be teacher graded. The reflection activities, we recommend participation marks. Initially, we were envisioning just reflection activities and realized sometimes students need that extra motivation in order to do it. So we were considering the reflection activities as participation. The other assets that students would be depositing could absolutely be teacher graded. And then at the end of the course, they have a very robust portfolio that they can carry forward with them and continually add to if they want.
Yeah, we'll do this one last one. There's a lot more. I just want to let you know all of your questions. Lisa and I will get an answer back to you, so don't worry about that. But this last one's a great one about our whitelisting any external links or videos. We do provide a whitelist of all of that for all of our
Yes.
courses. Yep. So that time we got to let you go because we know so many of you are going on to other summit sessions. So we thank you guys so much for joining us today. Want you to know you're going to have a certificate of participation today, as well as a survey will come your way and you can ask more questions and provide feedback on our presentation. Hopefully we shared the why and the what of our new course that's coming. But if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to us at any time. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.